Once there was, and once there wasn't. A young man who visited a saint, who lived by a river in a simple hut made of rags and bamboo poles. And the simple hut brought peace to the young man's mind as he sat with the saint all afternoon. At last, the young man found it was time to leave. And he said to the saint, he said, "Guruji, may I ask you one question before I leave?" "Of course, my son," said the saint. "Guruji, where can I find God?" "Ah," said the saint, "you have asked that question. Come back tomorrow, after I've had time to think it over, and I will answer you tomorrow. When you come, bring with you a glass of milk." The young aspirant was delighted. A simple request, an odd request, but he was happy knowing his question would be answered. So he went home, slept soundly that night, and returned to the saint the next day with a glass of milk. Guruji thanked him for the milk, poured it in his begging bowl, and began to dip his fingers into the milk and let it run down his fingers as if he were searching for something. And the young man watched him, a little bewildered, but sat patiently. After a while, however, his patience started to grow thin, because the saint was now dipping his whole hand into the bowl of milk and letting it run down. And finally he lost his patience completely, the young man did, and said, "Guruji, what are you doing?" "Well," said the saint, "I have heard that there is butter in milk, and I'm trying to find it." The young man couldn't control himself. He burst into laughter. "Guruji, Guruji, it's not like that. The butter and the milk are part of one another. They are one and the same. It's just that you have to churn the milk to convert it so the butter comes out." "Ah," said the saint, "I believe you have answered your own question." And he took the milk and he gulped it down in one big gulp. And he said, "Young man, now go home. Churn the milk of your soul until you find the divine."